Welcome to Machine Learning lecture series. This is lecture number 2. In this lecture, we will discuss about logistic regression, which is one of the classification type of algorithms. In previous lecture, we have seen simple linear regression, where the output is continuous in form. But in case of logistic regression, the output can be divided into two classes, that is either class 0 or 1, or we can say one class is true class and second class is false class, and so on. That means the prediction will be on the basis of two categories. The new data point will be added to one of these categories. In case of simple linear regression, which we have seen in previous lecture, that is the case of continuous prediction. Now we will discuss this algorithm. So first step is to import the libraries. Again, here we are using three libraries, which are NumPy, Matplotlib, and Pandas. Then we are using the dataset, which is social network ads. This dataset consists of multiple columns and multiple rows. There are total 5 columns, which are user ID, gender, age, estimated salary, and purchased, and multiple rows. Out of these 5 columns, we are taking age and estimated salary as input columns. So here in code, we are assigning input to column number 2 and 3. So this is column number 0, user ID. In Python, the counting starts from 0. So 0, column number 1, column number 2, 3, and 4. So out of these 5 columns, we are taking age and estimated salary as inputs. So we are taking it under X. I have already discussed about this allocation in the previous lecture. So you can visit the first lecture. Then to access the elements of your data set, you have to use dot iLocation and dot values. This colon indicates all the values, all the rows, comma. The second value it contains the columns. So column number 2 and column number 3 we are considering as a input, and based on this input we are predicting the output. The output is stored in Y, and it is stored in the column number 4, which is purchased. Now if you look at this column, there are only two possibilities, whether 0 or 1. That means the item is purchased or not. If it is not purchased, that means it will have the value 0. If it is purchased, then it will have value 1. So again, it is true false type of categorization. Here we are not using user ID and gender for our prediction purpose, because it will not they are not that much important features as compared to age and estimated salary. It is just a survey type of example in which we are uh, doing survey on the basis of age of people and estimated salary of the people which want to buy, who are purchasing some items, who are buying some items, and on the basis of age and estimated salary we are predicting that these people are buying or purchasing the item or not. If they are not purchasing, then output will be 1, output will be 0, and if they are purchasing, the output will be 1, like this. So this is how the flow of our algorithm is. Our problem statement is to design a model which will predict whether the person is buying or purchasing the product or not, based on his or her age and estimated salary. So this is our problem statement. Again, we will consider the algorithm, the Python code. Now how to obtain dataset using pandas command. So pd dot read underscore csv, using this command you can access the dataset, the CSV file. The name of the file is social underscore network underscore ads dot CSV. One thing you should remember that you have to save the file in the same location in which you are saving your Python code, so that this will run properly, otherwise it will throw an error. So column number 4 we are storing as output. So this is our output. It has only two values, 0 and 1. Now we'll split our data set into two parts as discussed in the previous class. The same thing, this is our data set in which we are dividing the data set into two parts. Now in this case, the column number 2 and column number 3 are the part of input x, and column number 4 is your output y. So this 2 and 3 column are nothing but your x, and 4 number column is y. So this is age and estimated salary, and whether the item is purchased or not. So the purchased item is nothing but your output. Now again we are splitting the data set into two parts, training and testing. So this part becomes your X train. This is Y train output, which we are providing for the training purpose. Then this part is your X test, the input which we are providing for testing purpose, and Y test, the output which we are providing for the testing purpose. So your data set is divided into four parts: X train, Y train, X test, and Y test. So these four variables we are using here: X train, X test, Y train, and Y test. What we are splitting? We are splitting X and Y. That's why we have to apply these inputs X comma Y. Test size we are keeping 0.25 or 1 by 4. That means if your data set consists of, now in this case your data set contains about 400 rows. So out of these 400 values, we are keeping 300 values for the training purpose and 100 values for the testing purpose. If you are using 1 by 4 as a test size, you can take this as 1 by 2 also, so that 50% for training and 50% for testing. But it is better to use more values for the training purpose. So out of 400 values, we are keeping 300 values for the training part and 100 values for the testing part. Then as discussed in the previous case, random state we are keeping as 0. In the previous lecture, we have already discussed about this. You can watch our previous lecture about the regression part. The random state is used to generate the random numbers which are required for the backend process. So we are assigning some values, some value to that random state. So same train underscore test underscore split we have to use here, the same function. And after splitting the data set into four parts, the next thing here is, here you have to scale your inputs. Why we have to scale the inputs? Because in this case we are taking age and estimated salary as the inputs. Now one input is 2-digit number and the second input is around 5-digit number, 4 to 5-digit numbers. So when you are combining them for the when you are using both these values for the prediction purpose, and one value is smaller as compared to other value, then it may create an error or it may create the false prediction. So to avoid the false prediction, we have to scale both the values to a standard value. So for that, the scaling is required, because here 2-digit value is there and here 5-digit value. So it will not predict properly. So to avoid that improper prediction, we have to scale these values first. So that's why we are using standard scaler class, and we are using sklearn.preprocessing. Then to access the elements of this class standard scaler, we are using one object SC. Again, this is a part of object area oriented programming as discussed in the previous lecture. So to access the elements of standard scaler, we are using the variable SC. Now here we are applying this scaling part on input only, because output is in form of 0 and 1. So no need to apply scaling on the output. We are applying scaling only on the input. So input are age and estimated salary. We will apply scaling on both, that is training as well as testing input. So x train is equal to, so your updated, this is your updated x train, this is your previous x train. So sc dot, how to apply scaling using fit underscore transform or transform. Why we are using fit here, dot fit, because this is training part, and you, as you know, in the previous lecture we have already discussed about this. While training we have to apply dot fit command, and while testing we have to apply dot predict command. Now since this is the variable we are using for the training part, so that's why we have to use fit underscore transform. And while testing, no need to apply that fit command, because that dot fit command is used for training part. It should be applied on the training input. So x train is the training input, so that's why we are using fit underscore transform. While scaling the testing input, we will apply only dot transform. So this is the difference between the two. So dot fit underscore transform and dot transform. So using dot transform, we can transfer our input to a scaled input. So these are the scaled versions of the input x10 and xtest. Next is, we have to use the class logistic regression from linear underscore model. So sklearn dot linear underscore model import logistic regression. Again, this is case sensitive, so you have to take care of this thing. The L and R, these are capital. Then to access the element of logistic regression, we will define one object classifier is equal to logistic regression, and random state we are keeping 0. Then next step is to train the model. So to train the model, we will use dot fit command, and this classifier we will use the name of that object, which is classifier. So classifier dot fit x train and y train. So this x train is nothing but this x train, which is updated input, and y train is your the output, which is which we are using for the training part. So this y train is nothing but your output, which we are using for the training part. And once this training is over, as I said in the previous lecture, we have already discussed about this. So what we are applying for the training, we are applying x train. We are telling the machine that if we give some input, then the output should be in the range of some values which are already defined. So if x train is the input, y train should be the output. So this is nothing but your training part. This is your training part. And in testing part, we will apply only x test. So this is your testing. Here we are not providing any output. So the output of prediction we will store somewhere. We'll assign the variable as ypred. After the testing, we will get this ypred, and then we'll compare this ypred with our actual output. So actual output is y test. So this logic you have to remember in every algorithm, every machine learning algorithm. We will train our model according to X train and Y train. So that means some input we are applying and we are getting some output. This we need to tell to the machine. That is nothing but your training. Then how to perform testing or how to perform prediction. We will apply some input, that is X test. Then system will generate the output according to the this training model, or this whatever the system has, or that machine has learned from the training part. So according to that training, it will generate the result. So that result will store in some variable y underscore prediction or pred, and then the actual output is your y test. So we'll compare y pred with y test. If they are nearly same, that means your algorithm is having good accuracy. 100%, sometimes you may get 99% accuracy. So that is the case here we are doing. So we are training using dot fit command, and we are testing using, or we are predicting using dot predict command. Then we are storing the result of prediction into one variable y underscore pred. Now next is confusion matrix. We are using from sklearn dot matrices import confusion matrix. Confusion matrix is a matrix which is used to find the accuracy of your algorithm. It consists of 4 sections. On one axis there are actual values, and on another axis there are predicted values, and the types of values are positive and negative. So when certain value is present actually, and if you are predicting it as a present, so that becomes your true positive case. That means that value is actually present in the data set and you are predicting it as a present. That means your result is true. So that is called as true positive. When it is the value is absent in the data set and you are predicting it as a present, that is nothing but false positive. When the value is actually present and if you are predicting it as absent, then that will be considered as a false negative. And when the value is not present and you are predicting it as absent, means not present, that means it is true negative. This is nothing but the confusion matrix. So based on this confusion matrix, we can find the accuracy of the algorithm as, the accuracy is defined as true positive plus true negative divided by all. That means true positive plus true negative plus false positive plus false negative. So your this true positive and true negative will decide the accuracy of the system. So this value should be more. So true positive plus true negative divided by the sum of all these values will give you the accuracy of your algorithm. So this is called as confusion matrix. We will use this confusion matrix to find the accuracy of our algorithm. Now what input we will apply here? We will apply the y test and y pred. So this is prediction and this is actual. So this is our data set. In our data set, we have divided our data set into 4 parts: X train, Y train, X test, Y test, and we are applying training over X train and Y train, and we are predicting over X test. So machine is trained using X train and Y train. Now we have to check whether the machine is trained properly or not. So we will apply X test on the machine. Then machine will generate some output. That output is Y predict, Y underscore predict. And then we have to compare these two, Y pred with Y test, because Y test should be the result after application of X test. The machine should generate this Y test because it is trained using X train and Y train. So after application of X test, that machine should produce Y test. So Y test should be the output we should get at the end. But after application of X test, if you are getting the values, that values we are storing in Y pred, and then we will compare these two. If they are matching, that means your algorithm is accurate. So to the confusion matrix as the input, we will apply Y pred and Y test. So that's the same thing we are doing here. We are applying Y test and Y pred to the confusion matrix, and then we are printing that matrix. So once we run this code, you'll get the values. And last part is your plotting part. We'll come to this part later after running the code. So this is the plotting part of your output. The output should look like bit like a categories. So this is your age feature, and this is your estimated salary feature. So these two features we are using as an input. Both are we are using as an input. So age and estimated salary, and these are scaled version actually, because we have applied the feature scaling on that inputs. Now based on these data set values, based on these data set values, the values will be spread like this. These are the actual values. According to the age and estimated salary. So there are some green points and some red points. So red points indicate the zero. That means the purchased value is zero. So for purchased value zero, the points are red, and the purchased value one, the points are green. So what this algorithm will do, this will draw, or this will divide the plot or your output into two categories. So this will be your category 0, and this is category 1, or this is category 1, and this is category 2, like this. So whether that item is purchased or not. So for not, this is the category for not purchased, and this is the category for purchased. Yes. Now this is called as prediction. The points which are red and blue, red and green in color, these are actual points according to the values present in the data set. And what we are predicting, we are predicting the region, we are predicting this line, it is dividing into two regions. So this is done by the machine. This line is drawn by the machine, and it is dividing it into two categories. The machine is telling that this portion is not non-purchased portion and this is purchased portion. Now, if there are lots of green points in this purchased portion and lots of red points in this non-purchased portion, then your accuracy is more, because we have already we have some red points, more red points in this area. That means according to the actual data, we are having in this region more red points and less green points. And your machine is also predicting the same thing. That means this portion is non-purchased portion, and here we are having more green points and less red points. That means it is actually a non actually it is a purchased portion, and machine is also predicting it as a purchased portion. That means the accuracy is more. But there are some red points in the green region and there are some green points in the red region. That means some mismatch is there, or some less accuracy of your algorithm is there. So first of all, we'll run this code. Our aim is to classify the data into two parts, and that two parts should be according to the actual data. So one part should contains the data points which are not buying the product, not purchasing the product, and second part should contain the data points which are purchasing the product. Now, if you observe this carefully, there are two features, age and estimated salary as the inputs, and these are scaled version. Look at the values here, -2, -1, 0, 1, 2, 3. So these are scaled values, and same on the similar scale we have scaled estimated salary also. Earlier age was 2-digit number and estimated salary was around 4 to 5-digit number. So it is not possible to predict the output based on this mismatch inputs. So we have scaled the inputs. After scaling, it will appear like this: -2, -1, 0 to 3, and similarly on age axis. Now these dots or these data points are actual points which are present in the data or data set. So green points are nothing but the item is purchased, the product is purchased, and 0 or red indicates it is not purchased. And these regions, the blue, the red region and the green region, these are the prediction region. So these are drawn by the machine, these are predicted by the machines. So points are the actual thing and the regions are the predicted thing. So you should compare between these two, right? So the points are actual and the regions are prediction. So this is the main thing in this whole algorithm. So in the red region, which is predicted region, if you are getting more red points and less green points, and in green color portion, which is again a prediction, we are getting more green points than red points. That means this line is properly drawn by the machine. This line is properly predicted by the machine according to the algorithm. And the accuracy of our algorithm is decided by this confusion matrix. We have printed this confusion matrix. As I already told you about this, the first value indicates true positive. The second value indicates this is false positive 3, false negative is 8, and false and true negative is 24. So accuracy is calculated at 64 plus 20, 65 plus 24 divided by the sum of all this. So according to that, your accuracy will be more than 90%. We can calculate that using the same formula, true positive plus true negative divided by sum of all these. So this is how your algorithm works. Your main aim is to predict these regions. So these points are according to the values present in the data set. So 0 indicates red points, 1 indicates green points, and these regions are predicted regions. This is done by the machine. So we are getting more red points in the red region and more green points in the green region. That means we are having good accuracy. Our algorithm is having good accuracy. So this is what the prediction is. So according to this algorithm, if any new person having some age and some estimated salary is there, we can predict, your machine can predict it accurately, whether that person will buy the product or not. That person will predict that person will purchase the product or not. So for this type of classification in which the output is either yes or no, true or false, that means the output is divided into two classes and the output is discrete in form. So such type of classification we can perform using logistic regression. Since we are using here 0 and 1 as a binary logic, so that's why this algorithm is called as logistic regression. And to plot this, we are using this code where we are focusing on driving between the points. So mesh grid will focus on the starting point of input to the ending point. So here step size is mentioned as 0.01. It will take it as a pixel. So the steps between the pixel is taken as 0.01. Then we are using plt.contour to plot the boundary between the two classes or the two categories. So contour will plot this boundary. And lastly, we are using for loop to find the red points in the green region and to find the green points in the red region. And then we are plotting it finally using plt.legend and plt.show. So main purpose of this algorithm is to predict whether the person is buying the product or purchasing the product or not based on age and estimated salary, based on these two input features. We will discuss more on classifications and different types of classifiers in coming lectures of machine learning. Keep visiting our channel Electron ITS and subscribe if you like the video. Thank you.